Bonjour tout le monde, welcome back to Montreal Rides. I'm going to see my sister in Verdun. And I'm going to talk a bit about my third try to get plated, registered, and insured. Now, first of all, I did change the view angle, the lens setting on my GoPro. I still had it on linear with horizontal lock, and while that is great when you're when it's strapped to your chest on a chest harness going slow, it's not as efficient, it's not as efficient when it's attached to the helmet and you're looking around and going faster. So I've got the new settings on. And I will only know what it looks like once I see it myself. So it may take a few videos to get the right viewing angle and all that stuff on my helmet, on the GoPro. So when I went to the SAAQ at Place Versailles, which was my third time at SAAQ, I had a little issue with their system. So basically, everything went well until he got to the point of, clicking OK and finalizing everything. And what happened is it was asking for a CVM, Certificat de Vérification du Mécanicien, the mechanic's verification certificate. And it didn't make sense because it doesn't apply to new vehicles for personal use. CVM is useful when you're going to drive the thing outside of the province of Quebec, and it may be requested wherever you're going. It's useful if you've stored your ride away for over 12 months, if it's custom made, if it's an army vehicle, ambulance, bus, things like that. Things that may tend to break down a lot more due to its state situation. So I'm like, well, it's a new vehicle. Shouldn't ask that. So he said, well, you have to go back to your dealership, and ask for that paperwork. So I did that. I drove all the way to downtown Montreal to where I bought this, but they're closing the location where I bought my scooter. And it was a lot of construction, so just going around in circles to try to get to the store just to find out that it's closed, and then locate the other store where I originally bought my UQi Plus on Prince Arthur. So managed to do that, get to them, and he's like, this is the first time I hear about this. No other client has had to do this. Let's look it up and see what it's about. And that's where we found out all the requirements, or rather the vehicles that have that requirement. And what we found is that it doesn't apply to this. So I asked them to print me a blank version of the form that would need to be filled out by the mechanic, just so that it shows the title on it, which is, it says, for things that are far from public roads and off-road and custom and all that stuff. And I asked them to print a web page that lists the vehicles that require this, which mine does not. And then I rode all the way back to Place Versailles. I was piling up the kilometers at that point. So I managed to cut the line because I had already started a case that day. The guy said I just show my ticket my original ticket for his desk, and that's it. So I go to his desk and I tell him that the dealership doesn't know what you're talking about. I never had to do this. And I ask him that, did you click a box somewhere that says like it's a off-road or anything like that? He's like, nope. I was like, let's try it again. So he tries it again from scratch, puts in the details, vehicle verification number or identification number, the VIN code, all that stuff. And again, it says it requires the certificate, the mechanic's certificate. So I do like a face, you know, I'm being polite with him and all that stuff to make sure you get service, you stay polite, and things get done. So I show a face of like, you know, you're sending me in circles here. It's going to be a infinite loop. I'm not going to go back to the dealership just to be told we don't do that, and then come back and then bounce back and forth, playing ping pong with a paper, a non-existent paper. So he's like, hold on, let me ask my supervisor. So he asked, and here's a tricky thing. He's like, your vehicle's old. I'm like, old? I just bought it. He's like, yeah, but it's a 2022 model, and today's 2024. I'm like, so, you know, you don't sell all your stock right away. I guess when it comes to cars, it's a different story, because laws mandate that cars have to be produced to protect the jobs of the workers. Kind of a silliness of today's society. So, yeah, what he had to do is click a certain box somewhere. Like, there's a way to bypass that fact. So, because it was a 2022 model, that's like over a year ago, it pops up the warning automatically on the software that the SAAQ uses, but it doesn't apply to this. So they click certain things and poof, it's done. So that was finally done. I showed up at 9 in the morning, and when everything was done, it was 2 in the afternoon, minus a half-hour break for me to eat something. I then rode home, taking the long way home, you know, sightseeing a bit. So that day I did 72.4 kilometers in total. I got home and I had 29% battery charge left. I started with 100 that day. So there you have it. If you buy something new that is over a year old in the model's year, you may have little issues with the SAAQ to get it registered. So you just need to tell them, ask your supervisor, this happens when you buy something new that's not of the year. You can click something on your software that allows you to register it. So hurrah, I'm registered. I have my temporary plate, and when I get the actual metal plate in a week or two, it will have green numbers because it's an electric vehicle. Une plaque vert, as they say, green plate. As you see, most people have a blue plate, blue being the blue on white being the colors of Quebec. So I will have a green plate because I'm environmentally friendly. So yeah, attempt number 3, third luck, was a charm, although not much of a charm because I had to work for it. Not third luck, but third, what's the word again, the expression? Third time's a charm? There you go, whatever. It was done in 3 tries with a lot of work on the 3rd try. I also received my plastified driver's license card, so I'm happy about that. I look like I'm sick on my picture. That's normal. It's always like that with government ID, it seems. And yeah, what else is there? I'm gonna slow down my uploading. I was in a bit of a rush when I got my my scooter, and I was filming everything and all that stuff. I was like, oh my god. So I was uploading and uploading and uploading, but that's over for now. I'm gonna stick to twice a week for a bit, see how that goes, and if it's too much, then I'll bring it back down to once a week, every Sunday, as it used to be. We'll see. It all depends on how much I ride and record. Let me just make sure I'm not getting hit by a car here. All right. I have a tendency to look up when I'm looking for directions because I'm looking above the cars in front of me, so it makes the camera tilt up. And in the previous video I noticed that it I'm filming the sky as opposed to the road in front of me, so this angle should be much better since it should be filming more this way and that way. Yeah. It should be better. Come on, the light's green. Oh, there's lots of traffic. It's Sunday morning. Why is there so much traffic? Probably because of all the construction left and right, causing everyone to funnel into these other streets. So another thing I did is I bought a leather jacket and leather gloves with padding inside. It's a Revit jacket, and it's 5, the brand of the gloves. I bought it at Excel Moto on Paris Street or Jarry Street. I don't remember which one. When I walked in there, it was beautiful. Just like anything on two wheels, just hundreds of moped, large, small scooters, and multiple kinds of motorcycles, racing, adventure, touring, cruise. It was a beautiful sight. I will show you a better image just about now. As you can see, it's a nice leather jacket. It has an inner lining, which I removed because it's still slightly above 20 degrees right now, so I don't want to boil when I'm just waiting in traffic. And yeah, that's it. Padding on the shoulders, padding on the elbows, padding on the palms, padding on the knuckles, with options to, if I want in the future, attach a spine protection to the jacket. Like, it's set up to be able to add that to it. I don't know if that's normal or not, but I did that. I'm almost there, so if you like my content, leave a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more, subscribe down below. Je vous souhaite une bonne journée, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Ciao.